Is there such a thing as bad people? Or are there just people who sometimes do bad things? Are some people just better at suppressing the bad, while others find it difficult to stay good when they get triggered by something? Does it even matter when your own well-being is at risk? Or is that the moment when you hold on to understanding and love more than anything, especially if it's your partner? Today, we are going to look into the aftermath of getting with someone based on basically nothing. I mean, not nothing. Your need for validation, your need for the one, or simply an obsession. This is the story of Ryle and Lily from the book and the movie adaptation It Ends With Us, which I'm sure everyone heard about. And while today we are looking at the aftermath of the two of them coming together, I did make a video analyzing the initial interactions. Were there signs from the get-go? And how sometimes when you don't pay attention to those signs, but also what drives you, you can end up in very effed up situations. You already know how we do things here. We narrate, we analyze, we often judge, we most definitely critique, and we always pretend to know better and would do better. Hopefully. Lily wakes up in Ryle's bed in Alyssa's house. Ryle and Alyssa are brother and sister. And the night before, Ryle actually begged Lily if she could give him a chance at a real relationship. You see, he never was in a relationship because he never believed in it. It's almost like a burden to him. He had a very specific view when it comes to women and love. It's mostly about how when he needs it, he gets it. Lily decided to help this hot, successful, and wealthy stranger to get better, to show him how good love and relationship can be, to change him. And the only way they can fight the lust Ryle always went after is if he does not have sex with Lily. Right now, they're gonna have a trial run. No commitment, but let's see if this could lead somewhere. It's an interesting way how to get the benefits of a relationship, you know, the person always being there for you, yet never really actually giving commitment. But maybe I'm too picky. So Lily is waking up in his bed. And she is on a mission many of us face first thing in the morning. Okay, after toilet, coffee. Yes. As she's preparing her coffee, she's looking around and she's like, Biz, what is this? Everything is clean. We just had a party last night. Alyssa comes in and informs her that, well, they have people for these things. But right now, that's not important. They need to address the elephant in the room. How Lily and Ryle happened. Well, we actually met before I even met you. We had a thing. A one-night stand? No, nothing like that. We didn't even kiss until last night. I don't really know. We had this flirtation thing going for some time, and it all kind of came to head last evening. Lily is a bit smitten, you know? For her, this is a journey of two people who cannot stay away from one another, and they finally got together. Alyssa is a bit worried, and so are we. Are you mad? No, Lily. It's just that, you know, I know my brother and I love him, but what? Ryle just walked into the kitchen and he is not happy about his sister trying to warn Lily. He walks up to Lily, he takes her coffee from her hands, which I would flip. Messing with my coffee? That's a boundary we do not cross. He kisses her on her forehead and he kind of makes his way closer to Alyssa. Continue, Alyssa. I didn't mean to interrupt. Stop it. It sounded to me like you were about to give Lily a warning. I'm curious. What do you have to say? He returns the cup back to Lily and he starts to pour himself a fresh one. Look, Ryle, you don't have the best record when it comes to relationships, and Lily is my best friend. I just feel like, as a friend, I should tell her if I have doubts. That's all. I mean, that's what friends do. They give opinions on guys that they are dating. Lily is looking at the situation and she is feeling the tension between the two of them. And Ryle? Oh, Ryle is not making it any better. He walks up to Alyssa, who doesn't even look at her brother, and he starts pouring his cup of coffee into the sink. Well, as your brother, I would appreciate if you would have some faith in me. That's what siblings do. And he walks away. People, if I was Lily, paired with the first cup of coffee in the morning, I'd shit my pants. Alyssa takes a deep breath and she apologizes to Lily for what just happened. Lily is left in the kitchen alone and she'd be confused. Is this just a normal tension between siblings? Or is this some kind of concern? Well, let's talk about it, shall we? So before going into the whole exchange between Alyssa and Ryle and what does that tell us about Ryle, I want to address another problematic thing that happened. From my personal view, not because I have a certain attachment to first coffee, to me, how Ryle walked up to Lily and took her cup away feels a bit sus. It looks like another display of the power dynamic between Ryle and Lily, and how Ryle is basically, walking all over Lily or just taking from her whatever he wants. Like taking the cup out of her hand like that is a bit concerning. But here's the thing, because he replaces it with the kiss, she might miss it, his controlling move. And I do wonder if these are in general subtle moments where you get confused because they replace it with affection. You yourself might be dismissive to what actually happened. When it comes to Alyssa and her warning towards Lily or trying to warn Lily, it does feel like Alyssa almost acts as a voice of reason for Lily, right? Lily is infatuated by Ryle. At this point, she already developed some kind of attachment and some kind of need for Ryle. Now, was that based on the emotional manipulation that was happening? We already talked about it and we know. But nevertheless, it does kind of cloud her judgment. So Alyssa could be someone who says, hey, despite all of this, please don't neglect what you actually know about him. And he did tell you about his reluctancy when it comes to relationships. Now, Alyssa walking away and basically shutting down before having the chance to go deeper into what are her doubts with Lily shows how Ryle, at the end of the day, manipulated this whole scene and this whole conversation. There are two scenarios how this could go down. You see, in the first scenario, Ryle could reassure Alyssa and also Lily that he knows that he doesn't have the best record when it comes to relationships, but he really wants to change and he wants to give Lily and him a chance. This would show that there is a genuine desire to grow. Now, what Ryle did was anything but that, okay? Ryle was not only manipulative, but also controlling. Before you come after me, I get it. If someone is trying to warn your love interest about you, yes, it makes you feel some type of way, especially if that person is your family. You're like, bis what? But there's a difference between feeling something and how do you react to those feelings. Mary, it really is. In my opinion, the manipulation happened when he was showcasing his hurt, how hurt he is by the, betrayal of Alyssa, when in reality, he was shutting down the conversation. Now, when it comes to the control, when you shut the conversation down and you walk away, isn't that controlling the narrative? Isn't that making a very, very clear statement that you do not want this to even continue? And voila, it resulted in Alyssa shutting down and leaving Lily alone. But not only that, Lily herself might see that if you start a conversation or if you open a conversation with Ryle that makes him feel uncomfortable, he's gonna be mad at you. He's gonna shut down. With this action, Ryle is already creating an environment where Lily herself will start to tiptoe around him, to be careful of what kind of conversations does she bring up and what she should steer away. And all just to make sure he doesn't get upset and shut down. Lily goes to Ryle, maybe because of love she's already developed and because she herself had an agreement with him. She talked about this. He already admitted that he is not good in a relationship and so on. She's focusing on understanding Ryle. She's focusing on being the one who doesn't judge him, being the one who understands and is there for him. Now, Ryle is sitting on a couch and he is scrolling. Because Ryle doesn't even look at Lily when she enters, she's worried. Is he mad at her now? Can you imagine barely knowing a person and yet feeling a little bit scared how they're gonna react or if they are mad at you? It's showing how Lily is already feeling insecure in this relationship. But Ryle actually puts his phone away and he says to Lily, "Come here." He pulls her on the couch and he gives her the most passionate kiss. Lily is wondering, is he trying to prove his sister wrong without acknowledging what happened in the kitchen? Without having a conversation with Lily? Isn't that a little bit dismissive? And again, replacing the need for conversation with intimacy. Obviously, there is an aspect of this being a new relationship and them trying to kind of, navigate things, navigate this awkward situation that just happened. But at the same time, we cannot neglect that this could be early signs of how their relationship is not balanced. Neither of them is comfortable with expressing their emotions, expressing what they're feeling, and being open to talk about it, to kind of understand each other better. That was basically a missed opportunity for Lily to get to know better how Ryle is. Is he self-aware? Does he recognize when he does wrong? And does he try to actually fix it? Or it's all just, people should just accept him. No one should say anything. If you actually want a good relationship, if you actually want to get to know a person, suck it up. Have that conversation. I like you in my clothes. Lily is obviously wearing his shirt. What is true love without a woman being able to wear her man's shirt when she wakes up in the morning? Like the true, small, vulnerable, feminine, protected by the masculinity. And what is our society without being influenced by certain beauty standards and gender dynamics? Wink, wink. Yep, we're doomed. Well, Ryle, unfortunately, I won't be staying in them for long because I have to go to work. Ryle brushes the hair off of Lily's face and he says, "I have a really important surgery coming up, so I won't be able to see you for a couple of days. Mary, please tell me." Isn't it interesting how Ryle the night before was pleading with Lily to give him a chance, to let him prove to her that he can do this, that he wants more than just lust with her. And then the first thing in the morning he says, "I'm sorry, I won't be able to see you for a couple of days." Not enough? What about the fact that they just had a conversation about how Alyssa is doubting that Ryle is really into this? And he, again, the first thing he does is mention how he won't be able to see Lily for a couple of days. Am I the loco here? Or is it showing again how Ryle doesn't acknowledge the doubts that his sister has? No, for him, that is just people being rude. Honestly, I don't even want to discuss it. I'm the type of person who believes that it's easy to send a small text. It's easy to keep in contact with someone when you actually want to keep in contact with someone. Lily feels disappointed, but also she knew that he has a lot of work and career is very important to him. So it's okay. If she actually wants to give him a fair chance, then she also needs to be understanding when he needs to work. Besides, she has a grand opening of her shop on Friday and has a lot of work to do. What in the fuck? Lily. She is already, again, the beginning of the relationship, dismissing her own need to be in contact. Lily being disappointed, it's clear that she was actually expecting him to be more engaged, to be more committed, even if it's a trial run. And yet, she stomps it over, basically, stomps over her needs by, he told me. I get the shivers when I hear, well, I've already told you. Well, you should have known. Because are we robots who get a code at the beginning and then we are the same all of our life? No. Okay? No. Maybe one day will be, but that day hasn't come yet. Let me first stay at this particular situation between Ryle and Lily. He just begged her to give him a chance. They agreed on a trial run. But why does it look like that this trial run is not about Ryle showing his commitment, but it's somehow turning into Lily needing to fully accept Ryle as he is. He doesn't want to change anything so that Lily can get the benefit of being in a relationship with the hot, wealthy neurosurgeon. Give me a break. Like, you cannot tell me that this is not fucked up. If he actually wants a relationship, if he wants to show commitment, if blah, 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 Lily is so special that he's willing to change his beliefs and so on, how come he still then says that he's going to prioritize his work and his career, and Lily needs to accept it because, well, he told her. Lily is the Lulu here. Lily is, her brain is not on right now. And here's the thing. My brain hasn't been on also in the past. Oh, I fell into the trap. Well, you knew it. Well, I've told you. Well, you knew how I was. Even freaking 5 years into the relationship. We are living. We are evolving. We are growing. Things constantly change in our, how do they say? The only stable thing is change, right? And yet we still fall into the trap. Or I fell into the trap of, you knew it from the beginning. Isn't relationship and partnership about two people, growing, adapting? Isn't it about supporting individual growth, but also growth as a partner? And when one of the two constantly positions themselves as though they don't have to change, they don't need to do any change, all it does is make the other person constantly adapt. Make the other person constantly bend and neglect their own needs. And how is that healthy? How is that two people coming together? Where in our life, in our understanding of love and relationships and even individual people, did it went wrong? And we accepted that I am the way I am means that the other people need to do everything that it's needed for them to accept us. And at the same time, we don't extend the same courtesy to them. Is it just me, or is it very, very selfish? Very, very one-sided, very self-centered to the expense of the other person? Very, very manipulative. So if you are ever hit with or if you're the one who's doing it, well, you should have already known. Take a step back and see for what it is. This person is telling you and showing you that they are not willing to grow with you. They are not willing to adapt to the natural development of relationship and how changes do happen. People do change in some way, and recognize it's just a way to be selfish at your own expense. And as much you're going to try to even feel guilty because, well, yeah, it's true. They told me, for example, in this case, already from the beginning that work is very important to them. But then why are you even trying to have a relationship with me? Even if you start feeling guilty about it, like, just see it for what it is. It's fucked up, and it will only lead to you resenting. You resenting, or you're literally losing yourself, while the other person will always get what they want. It's as simple as, is a person open and collaborative, or do they always just get their own way? But you should already know it. And I rest my case. Ryle again kisses her, and this time it's lasting for a minute. He starts to put her on the couch, but then he pulls away and he says, nope, I like you too much to make out with you. What in the fuck is going on here? Mary, please tell me, how do you feel? Am I onto something, or am I getting a little bit crazy myself? You know how Lily's boundary was not to get too physical, let's say sex, right? Now, in her mind, that's the what will help them develop an actual relationship. But even this time, Ryle takes control over it. A part of me is looking at this situation and I'm almost seeing how Ryle is, on one hand, almost punishing Lily, punishing her boundary, right? You said we cannot have sex. Well, now I'm going to show you, like I'm going to tease you all the time, but then pull it away. And what's even more fucked up, he's actually taking the control back. Despite her being the one of saying she doesn't want to have sex, he's creating a sense of how he's the one who's actually not indulging in it under the pretense, look how much I respect you. Really? Really? Do you really? Or is it another way how you feel in control? Well, I don't know, people, but that to me was a very, very sus. Let me know your opinion in the comments below. He starts putting on his scrubs to get ready for work, and Lily is lying on the couch the way he left her, looking at Ryle, thinking, man, I love those scrubs. He's a doctor, people. Did we emphasize this? It's been 2 days since Lily saw Ryle, and she's feeling a little bit disappointed. Like she wished, or she maybe even expected, that he's gonna text her or call her, or they would maybe at the end of the day see each other. She doesn't want to text first, though. I can understand the whole he has to show me, let him come after me, chase me, whatever. But at the same time, it's kind of your decision also. It's also for you to satisfy your needs in some way. So I don't see the problem why she wouldn't text him. Then, of course, if she's always the one who would be reaching out and so on, be my guest, do not do it, okay? Try to match the energy in some way. But just don't, I don't think it's beneficial for anyone if you want to talk to someone, but then you're just constantly expecting them to text you, because you're kind of letting, again, for them to control the whole narrative of your relationship. But that's just me, I guess. So she decides she's going to pass her time by reading a journal, getting lost a little bit in the past. After, I guess, let's max give it 30 minutes, she stops reading and she checks her phone. Oh my God, she has 4 missed messages. She didn't even know that she had her sound off. Message number 1, are you asleep? Message number 2, I guess so, ... Message number 3, Lily, ... And message number 4, sad face. It's Ryle. And Lily is happy. He still knows her. She notices that the last text came like 10 minutes ago, so she quickly writes, nope, not asleep at all. 10 seconds later, and Ryle is informing her that he is walking up her stairs and he's gonna meet her in a couple of seconds. Lily rushes to check herself in the mirror and she's like, good enough. She opens the door and there he is. Ryle is barely walking up the stairs and he is exhausted. Now, between the two of us and every freaking sane person, this is not okay. Okay, this is clearly not okay. Can you imagine someone obsessively texting you one message after another, after acknowledging that you might be sleeping, and not only does he actually wait for the response, he just shows up at your door. Guess what? He hugs Lily and he buries his tired head into her neck. Lily pulls him in and she asks him if he's hungry. She can make him something to eat. I want to cry. Imagine dating a guy, barely knowing him, being on a trial run, and he shows up at your door exhausted after no contact for 2 days, and you offer him food. The only thing I could offer is a phone so he can seek medical help. Okay, that's it. But Lily is different. And some might say that she's just a better and a nicer person than me. And honestly, in this situation, I gladly take being the worst one. Luckily, I guess, Ryle is not hungry. So they go straight to the bedroom. He takes off his jacket and he just basically falls onto the bed. And despite Lily probably wanting to have some good, sexy sex, that's what Ryle is telling her, he actually just needs to sleep. But the thing is that somehow he sleeps better when he is next to her. Is it okay if I sleep here? Silly. It's more than okay. I. Okay, let's continue. Let me just clarify this. This is all lovey-dovey, romantic. A man, when he is like totally exhausted, he wants to sleep, but he somehow feels more comfortable, and it just put him to sleep when he's next to you. Oh, damn it. Now that sounds that you might be boring. No, I mean, sometimes it's just comforting falling asleep next to a person I guess you trust and you feel safe. When you actually know the freaking person, when you spend some time together, when the relationship is a little more involved, not when this is the only interaction that the two of you have. In this situation, it's disturbing and very, very one-sided. Though Lily feels good. She likes being needed. She finds it very reassuring that Ryle sees her as someone who he feels safe with, comfortable, to the point that he can fall asleep without a worry because she's next to him. She's looking at his face and she can't believe it. She cannot believe that she is privy to looking at this face. That this man is her man, almost. It's still a trial run. She decides to give him a hand massage. He's been working so hard. And that also turns into a back massage. Yes, people, Lily actually has a side gig. She's also giving massages, apparently. No, she doesn't. She just feels so good taking care of a freaking stranger. Let's be honest. They're nothing but stranger at this point. Still, despite knowing him for so long, what do you actually know? Apart from his tongue. Ryle looks at Lily and he says, Lily, I think you're the best thing that has ever happened to me. Lily feels the warmth going through her body and Ryle leans in and kisses her. And then they do it. Yup, people, they do it. They do the deed. It took precisely 3 days for him to cross that boundary and for her to let go of that boundary. Lovely. We can say whatever we want to say, but Ryle is a pro. After 2 days of being told no sex, with no contact, he manages to actually cross that boundary and to have sex with you. This is a master. Honestly, I don't know if this is bad writing or this is the reality of how quickly someone can get played in some way, crossing their boundaries without even realizing it. And why does it happen? Why did it happen with Lily? One thing we can say is, if she constantly feels this push and pull of the affection and the contact, how quickly does it turn into being appreciative when she even gets a small breadcrumb of it? How can she reject it? What about if it's the only chance she gets? He might just pull away again. Now, the sex is amazing. Lily apparently never felt anything like it, and every other experience she had were just boys, and this is a real man. Like, are we surprised? The ecstasy of the sex with the wrong person, which is less about the sex itself and much more the pull and push and the manipulation and the desire and the desperation to get with the person and so on. But let's try to understand a little bit better what drove Lily into basically this scene where he goes no contact, appears at her door on his terms, to that then resulting in her feeling like she needs to take care of him, and then lastly giving in because, everything is so romantic and potentially subconsciously he just might go away if I don't give in. I think we need to look at her past. Her mom was a victim of abuse and she was basically the child. We also talked about how Lily might have developed a low sense of self-worth due to the situation they had at home, due to the fact that her dad never changed, never got better, potentially making Lily feel that she's not good enough, and at the same time, her mom never actually leaving her that despite the abuse and despite one time actually her dad hurting even Lily. There was basically an incident where Lily also got hurt, and she was convinced that this would finally make her mom leave because she would want to protect Lily. And when that didn't happen, Lily could develop, or most definitely, it's not even a question, a sense of not being good enough, right? Her mom doesn't love her enough or doesn't see her as important enough to protect her. So now, as an adult, she might be constantly seeking that confirmation that she is important, that someone values her. So Ryle coming to her when he is so tired and exhausted and he cannot sleep because she's not next to him, that taps into that sense of he sees me, I'm so important to him, he needs me. On top of it, Lily might often feel powerless, like she has no control. Obviously, you're a child and you're basically at the mercy of how the adults are going to decide to take forward things, right? So that could also result in her actually feeling powerful, or let's say have a sense of power when she takes care of someone, because it almost gives her life a purpose, a meaning. Like she has some kind of control over her life. And that is exactly what happened with her first love. Atlas was her first love. He was the homeless kid that was living across her street, and she helped him. She gave him food, she gave him clothes, and that's how they developed a friendship, and then later on also love, let's say. She fell in love with him and he fell in love with her. There was a age difference, like consent, not consent, and I don't know what is with authors and these ages, but okay. He was 17, she was 15, so he even asked her, when are you turning 16, indicating that he's taking care of her, but at the same time, I don't know. To me, it's all very weird, but that's not the point. Lily, when she was helping Atlas, it's how she felt valued, how she felt needed, how she felt like she matters something to someone. When it comes to her love for gardening, we also find out that she appreciates plants because it's very simple with them. If you take care of a plant, they will reward you back. So that's also how Lily almost sees relationships and interactions with other people. If I take care of you, then I am valuable to you and you will reward me somehow. So already as a young adult, she developed this sense of self-worth connected to caregiving. Now, Atlas would probably treat her well in any case, but because the development happened in a way where she gave him food, she gave him clothes, a place to take a shower, and so on, and then he was good to her, she kind of created this association, right? If I'm needed, then I'm important, and if I take care of people, they will reward me back. So she almost projects this to Ryle. If I'm taking care of you, you're gonna see how valuable I am, and you will actually find it worthy to change for me. When I tried to kind of understand these dynamics better, I also came across a psychological term called, I'm going to read it, repetition compulsion. So basically, this is when you repeat patterns that you learned in your childhood. So Lily might have seen her mom as the caregiver and the one who takes on the burden and the suffering and the hurt and still provides care to her partner, right? She still stays with him. So Lily herself might be repeating this pattern where, despite Ryle actually not really giving her anything of substance, she responds by taking care of him even more. Now, when it comes to Ryle, this character is dangerous. His whole behavior is basically a form of control. From him showing up to her door, from him saying that, oh, I know you want sex, but actually I'm so sleepy, to then pursue and have sex with her, it's all a result of manipulation. And he's increasing his value, his worth, without actually having any substance, and simultaneously he is lowering the self-worth Lily might have for herself, because she is basically going against what she set for her own well-being. But let's talk about you. If you fall into the group of people who saw this and saw it as romantic and saw it as, oh my God, Ryle is so into Lily and he just cannot without her. As much as I want to judge you, as much as I want to side-eye you a little bit, it's also kind of very easy to do that because we are conditioned into thinking that passion is automatically true love. Him being so into Lily is automatically the one, the soulmate. So when you're reading this and finding out that Ryle, despite being so tired, he at the end of the day wanted to only see Lily, you see it as a sign of true love, of his commitment. And you conveniently forget that he was missing her so much and he cannot sleep without her, but he couldn't even text her for the last 2 days. But people are living their own lives, right? You cannot expect people to always contact you. Bitch, please sit down. If you can accept that he is exhausted on the stairs because he missed you so much, then you can also accept that he's probably bullshitting because for the last 2 days he didn't need you. So we also are kind of conditioned with normalization of fucked up things, basically. Movies, TV shows, books always show turbulent relationships as something worth fighting for, as something true, as something romantic, as something destined. And the same way as Lily might have been emotionally manipulated, don't you think we were also? People who read the book could also be manipulated. When Ryle is presented as someone who appears and disappears, and Lily is thinking about him, but then he's not there, but then he again comes, and then he proclaims all of this. Doesn't it make you also invested in the outcome of the relationship? Don't you want to stay longer just to see what happens? Honestly, learning about how people fell for Ryle, and we talked about it in the first video, makes me appreciate how author used the character of Ryle and the storytelling in the book to also make us believe that Ryle is good or that this is some kind of special love and so on, when in reality we are as duped as Lily. Lily is at her shop. She's working, but there is a vase of flowers waiting for her. I'm having serious withdrawals. It's Ryle. Lily takes a photo of her holding the flowers, makes it a little quirky, tongue out, and writes, "I warned you." He immediately replies, and he says that he needs his next fix ASAP. He's gonna finish in 30 minutes, and he wants to take Lily. Listen to this, people. He wants to take Lily out for dinner. Yes, we are making progress. An official date planned. Did he just let her meet me now in 30 minutes? Okay, details. But it's a date. Unfortunately, Lily is already occupied. You see, her mom is in town and they're gonna go out for dinner. Is there room for one more? That's right, people. Ryle just invited himself to meet Lily's mother. Let's take bets. Is this a genuine move from Ryle who wants to show commitment to Lily? Or is it strategically creating even more influence in her life to deepen his presence without any real commitment? Lily is shooketh, and so are we, Lily, so are we. I mean, at the end of the day, she doesn't care if he meets her mom or nothing, but he wants to meet her mother. They're not even officially dating, and he went from not wanting a relationship to a trial run with Lily to now wanting to meet her mom in all, 1 day? Lily is thinking, damn, I must be a drug. No, Lily, I think you're taking drugs. So she agrees, and they're gonna meet each other in half an hour. She runs to Alyssa and she's like, he wants to meet my mom. Alyssa is also shocked. He never did this. He never met any girlfriend's parents. And this makes feel Lily even more special. But the next second, she's doubting. Why is he doing this? What if he's doing this just to please me? What if he doesn't really want commitment and he is doing it just because he knows I want a relationship? But then that makes her feel even happier. Isn't that what love is all about? Sacrificing for the person you like just to see them happy. Your brother must really like me. Alyssa, though, doesn't seem that happy. Yes, I'm afraid he does. She leaves the shop and Lily is feeling some type of way. What is her deal? Why isn't she happy about me and Ryle getting together? Is it really about him or is it about me? It's a bit of a silly question if you take in consideration that she already said that it's about Ryle, that she's worried for Lily. But I guess Lily just keeps on dismissing that part. It's not convenient for her story. It's 10 minutes before they are supposed to leave and Lily is closing her shop. But she turns around and boom, there he is. Ryle is on the phone, clearly waiting for her. She's a bit confused because she thought that they're gonna meet at the restaurant. He sees her and he finishes his call. Let's talk about this tomorrow. Something important came up. Oh, it's Lily. He grabs Lily and he gives her the "I've been thinking about you all day" kiss. Lily feels like the world stops for a minute. The way he grabs her, the way he can't get enough of her, it feels good. You know what part drives me the craziest? Your lips. They're as red as your hair, and you don't even need to wear a lipstick. Oh. There's something there. There's something that is just bothering me. I get it, it's a compliment, but on the other hand, why do you need to put you don't even need to wear makeup? Ryle apparently believes that some women need makeup and some women just don't, and they are the better ones. Kill me now. Lily makes a little joke. She needs to pay attention when they meet her mom because people say they look alike. And, if Ryle is so obsessed with Lily, just no. Ryle finds the joke a bit disturbing, and so do I. He came with an Uber, so they are riding together. A minor thing, but doesn't it again feel a little bit like control? He just inserts himself the way he wants to be inserted, I guess. It's these subtle things that he does that don't even allow Lily to actually make a decision for herself. It looks more and more that Ryle just says how it is and how it's gonna be, and Lily responds. It's meeting the mom time. How do you think this will go? The start is a little bit shaky. Lily doesn't know what to actually say, who Ryle is. But he comes to the rescue. Hey, I'm Ryle. My sister works for Lily. Interesting. He's not even presenting himself as a friend, right? Let's say, okay, he doesn't really want to say, I'm a thing. I'm her thing. Oh my God, that's so lame. Is he trying to make sure that he's kind of creating safe distance in front of her mother despite meeting her? Can you imagine introducing a person to your mom and you don't even know how to introduce them? Like, I understand that some people don't see meeting the parents as something big. It's just a normal part of life. But it is clear that Lily, despite not caring that Ryle meets her mom, she takes it as a sign of commitment from Ryle. Because Ryle never did this before. That's what Alyssa told her. So for Lily, this is a sign that Ryle wants to deepen their relationship. I guess their trial run. And it's kind of fascinating how she is taking meeting the mom as a sign of commitment, but him wanting to have a relationship, him wanting to spend more time with her, that doesn't include, just sleeping next to her or basically being intimate. That has nothing to do with commitment, right? But meeting the mom, that's a sign of commitment. Lily's mom sees now the resemblance when Ryle mentioned Alyssa. And Ryle tells her that apparently they take after their mother. People always say that Lily takes after me. Yeah, I see. Identical mouths. Mysterious. Lily's trying to hold back her laughter. I'm trying to hold back my shock. What disturbing is going on here? Can you imagine a man you are dating makes a joke about how an intimate part of you, the part that he loves the most about you, is the same as your mother? Is there something wrong, or is this man very, very wrong? Reading this, I felt violated. Ryle needs to go to the bathroom, but before he goes, he leans in and kisses Lily on the forehead. Now, let me get this straight. You're Alyssa's brother, yet you don't have a problem kissing Lily in front of her mother? What is happening here? Ryle leaves and mom wants to know, What is happening? Who is this? But Lily herself doesn't really know what this situationship even is. The thing is, he works a lot, so they don't even have much time to spend together. This is actually the first time that they are out together on a dinner. Mama is a little sus. According to her, Ryle is a little bit too comfortable and affectionate for someone you've just met. Well, no, we didn't just meet. I actually know him for almost a year now. And we did spend some time together, just we never went out together on a dinner. Lily, we both know what you're doing there. But I guess for Lily, the time passed. Her counting the first time she saw Ryle is huge. Like they've known each other for some time now. And yet, she ignores the fact that there's zero substance. But when you need your narrative to continue, well, you're gonna focus on what serves you and not what is the reality. She also tells her mom that he is a doctor, and biz, just like that, the mama is trapped also. Lily, her daughter, dating a neurosurgeon. Oh, she's impressed. Here we could see that there is a little glimpse of how Lily and her mom have the same pattern. You see, Lily's dad was a mayor, and I wonder how that plays into Lily's own admiration for someone who has status, that is something really important. It's kind of interesting because on one hand, she learned from her dad that despite someone being, having a high status, it does not necessarily mean they're good. She is also the one who looks at Ryle, and just because of status, she's already falling for him. Because seriously, we said it a million times already. She actually doesn't know anything about him. They don't spend any time getting to know each other. Apart these declarations of obsession he has for her. There is something, a little information that apparently plays into this, but I'm a bit confused, but okay. So we learned that as a kid, Lily always saw rich people as bad unless they donate to charity. So her favorite TV show host was Ellen DeGeneres, which didn't age well. She liked her despite being a part of the wealth and rich, which Lily didn't actually like. On the other hand, there was her dad. Also, not really rich, but having some kind of status, being a mayor, and he was a bad person. So when, as a child, she was looking at this, she was like, what's the difference? And somehow she decided that the difference is charity. You see, Ellen was donating to charity, aka good person. Her dad was not donating to charity, aka bad person. And according to this book, you still look at things like that even when you are 20 years old, but we grow differently. So despite Alyssa and Ryle falling into the group of rich people, because Alyssa donates to charity, she's automatically a good person. And Ryle is a doctor helping people, so ding, 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 he's also a good person. It's a bit ridiculous, but I guess that's what we're going with. The waiter comes to pick up the order, and Lily is shooked again. It's him. It is her first love. It's the homeless guy she lost her virginity with. It is Atlas. Now, for some bizarre reason, they don't say, oh my God, Lily, it's you. Oh my God, Atlas, it's you. No, we're going with she can't talk, so her mom needs to put in the order. And when he walks away, he takes a glance back. Was that Lily? Ryle comes back and he has a conversation with her mom about the work and yada da. And Lily, the whole time, she's a little bit distracted. She can't really keep with the conversations that the two of them have because she just saw her first love. So she excuses herself and she goes to the bathroom. She takes a deep breath and she cannot believe it. Was that Atlas? It's been years. It's been so many years. So let's go a bit back. Why is she so shooked? When Lily and Atlas developed their friendship, he was actually the only friend to Lily. He was also the only person who understood what Lily was going through with her parents. And this also, as we talked before, developed in love. the two of them being together against it all. But Atlas got adopted by his uncle who lived in Boston. And he was excited to go to Boston. According to him, everything is better in Boston. Lily was happy for him, but she was also sad that he's leaving. And Atlas promised her that once he gets his shit together, he's gonna come back for her. But he never did. He never came back for Lily. And not only that, Lily herself decided to move to Boston. Did she do that because Atlas inspired her, how great of a city it is, or because she wanted to see where is Atlas, what happened? So seeing him right now in this restaurant stirs up some shit. Also, you know how I mentioned she was reading journals? Well, the journals were about Atlas and how they got together and all the shit that went down, which basically indicates that she never probably really got over him. She never really dealt with the emotions of being abandoned by Atlas. Lily, they walk towards each other and they hug. Holy shit! They're hugging tightly and neither of them can believe it. Atlas is also a snack, people. He grew up from that teenage boy into a man. What are you doing in Boston? Lily appreciates that he's not, clocking her. Oh, did you come after me? Because it saves her the embarrassment. So she tells him that she actually lives here now and she has a floral shop. Atlas is not surprised. He knew about Lily's love for gardening. Lily glances past him, knowing that she needs to return to the table. Atlas notices, and it almost feels like he becomes a little bit sad. You should get back to your company. Yeah. They stay there looking at each other for a little bit. The silence is filled with so much to say, but neither of them knows what and how. Lily makes her way towards the restaurant and she turns around and looks at Atlas. It was good seeing you, Atlas. Yeah, Lily, you too. I look you up sometimes. You said Park Plaza, right? She nods and she returns back to Ryle and her mom. Despite her being a little bit distant for the rest of the dinner, it is going well. Ryle is charming her mom. She also noticed how seeing Atlas made her doubt a little bit her emotions. Why did she react that way seeing Atlas? Did she ever really got over him? But by the end of the dinner, Ryle already took away all of those doubts. The dinner is over and her mom leaves and Ryle also needs to leave. He has an important surgery the next day and he tells Lily that the patient will probably not be happy if he knew that the whole night he spent inside her. Lily is laughing and I'm disturbed. Excuse me, what? That's the only thing that you could have told to your patient? That's the only thing that's on your mind? I get it, it's the beginning of the relationship, but still. Isn't that a little bit ugh? What now? When it comes to you, I only think about sex, is this shit. It's obvious that despite wanting to change, Ryle is driven by lust only. Now you might say, well, he came to meet her mom. But again, at the end of the day, you can get to know my mom as much as you want, but at one point, you'll have to get to know me and not inside. Lily is again a bit disappointed that he has to leave, but a part of her is also relieved because she also has a lot of work and probably seeing Atlas, she needs to process some things. He asks her when is her next day off and Lily says, never. You? Never. We're doomed. Ryle is a bit more optimistic. It just means that the honeymoon phase is gonna last until they are 80. He's gonna come by on Friday and the four of them can go and celebrate Lily's grand opening. Interesting though. Company again, Ryle? When are you gonna plan something for just the two of you? It is an easy way to distract from forming anything real with Lily. That's the thing though, obsession is never about the actual person. His Uber pulls up and he turns to Lily. Thank you for letting me get to know your mom. Lily smiles and she has a feeling. She has a really good feeling about this guy. And as she is about to go into her own car, she has a little jump scare. It's Atlas. He's just standing there trying to mug her. No, not, but Bess, you can't just scare a woman like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you like that. Who's the lucky guy? Lily herself doesn't really know who the guy is, and all of this is very weird. This is her first love, and now she's in some kind of situationship, so she does what any normal woman would do. His name is Ryle and we met a year ago. The second she says those words, she's like, dumbass. Now it sounds like I'm with Ryle for a year when we're not even official yet. He tells her that he's also with someone and they've been also together for about a year. Ouch. That hurts Lily a little bit. And she's wondering, why the fuck does it hurt? He's happy to see her again, but he admits he wishes that this would happen a year ago. Now, all of this is peachy and nice and perfect, but also no conversation about what happened. What happened with you? Where did you go? You said you're gonna come back. Now, I get it. It's been, at this point for Lily, it's been, so she's 23. It's been like, what? 8 years? So maybe she feels it's a bit childish or a bit immature to ask him, oh, what happened? Why didn't you return? But at the same time, like, why don't we just have normal conversations? Why is it such a problem? Even if she wouldn't have any feelings towards him, just as, oh my God, what happened after you left? Just a normal conversation. Lily is trying to hold herself together as much as she can. But when she sits in her car alone, a huge tear drops down her cheek. And that makes her feel pathetic. Why is she crying? Why does she feel so hurt seeing him again? But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And maybe she just needed closure. Yes, that's it. That's all this was. She got a bit shooked because she needed to have a closure with Atlas so she can focus on her relationship with Ryle. So Lily clearly has problems, okay? And when it comes to Atlas, I personally don't really appreciate that this book even has that triangle thing, right? Two guys fighting for Lily. One is bad, one is good, yada-da-da-da. Because it totally misses the opportunity to support women in taking care of themselves without the need of a third person, okay? But I'm not going to go too deep into it now. The other thing that to me personally is a little bit disturbing is this was the first love happened at her 16 years old, right? And now she is an adult and she still has all of these emotions, which could indicate that Lily never really lets things go. Or she never really let go what she had with Atlas. Even at 23 years old, she doesn't look at that as being a, teenage love or something. But for her, that was something really, really real and really important. It almost shows that when it comes to love, Lily is a little bit stuck in her teenage years. Instead of seeing it that they were basically kids and, Atlas had to go and so on, she might have seen it as she was never good enough for Atlas to come back for her. And instead of dealing with these emotions, she's just trying to dismiss it so she can jump into something new with Ryle. Now, Ryle is showing me that I'm good enough. So this is the way I need to go. Not realizing that she needs to feel good for herself first before she can do something with someone else. At least 80%, okay? The last 20, the partner can help. She's back at home and she has 2 missed texts from Ryle. First message. Naked truth incoming. 1, 2, 3. Message number 2. Quote. I was worried that being in a relationship would add to my responsibilities. That's why I've avoided them my whole life. I already have enough on my plate, and seeing the stress my parents' marriage seemed to cause them and the failed marriages of some of my friends, I wanted no part in something like that. But after tonight, I realized that maybe a lot of people are just doing it wrong. Because what's happening between us doesn't feel like a responsibility. It feels like a reward. And I'll fall asleep wondering what I did to deserve it. But on the first look, all of this can seem so profound and so deep and so vulnerable. But if we put our sus glasses on, what do you mean no responsibility? What do you mean it's so easy with Lily? What did you actually do so far? But that's the thing, people. I mean, why wouldn't it be easy for him? He lives his life. The added bonus is that Lily is always there for him. And apparently this is coming from a 30-year-old man. Do men like this really exist? And if they do, run, bitch, run. A guy tells you that he loves being with you because there's no obligation. Everything feels so effortless. knowing damn well that nothing really happened between the two of you. You went on one date, on one freaking date, and her mom was there. Huh? It feels like a reward. Exactly. It's all about you, right? Ryle is so impressed by Lily because his life is not impacted at all by her presence. He just pops in and pops out when he needs it. He deserves this. And all of this only plays into Lily's own biases. You need to sacrifice so you are then appreciated and people show you love. This is her reward. She was there when Ryle needed it, and now he really values her. He sees how good she actually is, forgetting that apart from taking care of him, there is no her in this relationship. She has another missed message. A doctor, Lily? It's her mom, and she is impressed by Lily. Dating a doctor and having her own business? Oh, her mom wants to be her when she grows up. Also, this one makes Lily smile. She's finally a good girl. It's the grand opening of Lily's floral shop, and the day has been going amazing. Alyssa and Lily are reflecting that they will need more employees if they want this to work. Despite the success, though, Lily is a little bit sad. You see, Ryle never showed up. Lily, sweetie, I'm sure he has a good explanation. He didn't have the time and he wasn't horny. But as she is asking Alyssa if she heard from her brother, Ryle is right there leaning at the door. He walks in and he's like, I missed it? I did. I missed it. Ah, shucks. I'm sure he tried to get there as soon as possible, but unfortunately, it's already finished. And I know what you're thinking. He probably had work to do. And yes, I totally understand that. But not even a text? Not even a good luck on her big day? Well. I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking into it too much, but it's also a bit interesting how he did show up at her small opening. Remember the first customer? And yet now when they're on this trial run, now when he wants apparently a relationship with Lily, or maybe now when she gave in, this time he missed the grand opening. I don't know. To me, it's kind of interesting how he changed his approach from being the first one to not even a text. Lily is happy, she hugs him, and she's like, it's okay, no worries, everything went perfect. Alyssa is quick to separate them, and she is bragging how Lily will need some more employees. She's that good. It went amazing. Well, I'm no brain surgeon, but it did go well. Ryle laughs and asks if they need help cleaning. So, just like that, no comment on that, yes, very good job. I'm no brain surgeon, and you're like, that's true. It's a sneaky little way to feed into Lily's insecurities. I know you might say it's nothing, but is it? Is it? Wouldn't it be much, much nicer and much more supportive to Lily if he would have said, Lily, what do you mean? Like, pulling all of this off, that's impressive. Even if he thinks that being a brain surgeon is much, much more demanding, it does show how he himself sees his work much more valuable than Lily's work. He can't even compliment her. And it's not even about her work versus his work. It's about making her feel good, making her feel accomplished, not feeding into, well, yeah, you're no doctor, but good job, I guess. They clean everything up, and Marshall comes by, Alyssa's husband, with unzies. Oh yeah, Biz, it's another free beer night. The ladies put on the unzies and they go to the bar. Lily is looking around and she never in her life seen so many men in onesies. She also noticed that Alyssa and her are the only women that are also wearing unzies. It makes her feel good. Yes, Mary, Lily likes to be not like the other girls. We love them, right? Yes. Woohoo! A couple of minutes in, and the big reveal. Alyssa is pregnant. There's a backstory of them trying for a long time. I think they even lost the baby, maybe. But basically, it is a big deal for Alyssa and Marshall that Alyssa is pregnant again. And as they are cheering and celebrating, with the corner of her eye, she noticed Ryle is emotional. It's almost like he's holding back tears, being so happy for his sister. And that's where they get you. Show you a hint of emotion, a hint of that there is a human behind those cold, emotionally unavailable eyes. And you're like, oh, that's it. I knew it. He actually does want to have family. He does want to have kids. I just need to help him get there. Context, people, context. If he doesn't put any effort in the relationship between the two of you, showing commitment between the two of you, trying to further the relationship between the two of you, him getting emotional because his sister is pregnant has nothing to do with your own relationship. And I think many of us get delusional like that. We see someone reacting to a third situation and somehow we find a way how to apply that. That just means that that's also how they see us. That's also how they want us to develop. If they're not doing it, it probably means they don't. Lily should maybe focus on what is happening between the two of them, how that relationship is going. Lily also finds out another small detail, proving how much she knows Ryle, or Alyssa for that matter. They actually had another brother. He was the first one, but he passed away when they were kids. And this little information or this little exchange actually seems to be ruining the night. There is a look of compassion from Alyssa towards Ryle, while Ryle looks a little bit upset, let's say, a little bit closed off. But Marshall quickly changes the subject and salvation. The party is over and Ryle actually will go with Lily because figured he Ubered there. Now here's the thing, Lily would be probably happy to have him in any case. I just don't know why is there no agreement ever before. Why is it just all Lily adapting to Ryle? But okay, maybe I'm going too far. As Alyssa says goodbye to Lily, she also adds, I hope he marries you. It will be like we're sisters. It seems like Alyssa started to have more faith in her brother and this relationship. But that's the thing, right? You see, from Alyssa's perspective, her brother is changing. Her brother is treating Lily well. He's actually consistent with meeting Lily. Lily is in love, obviously. He even met her mother. And all of that could look like that he is actually changing. He is trying to do better. Yet, Alyssa doesn't know how between Lily and Ryle things are developing. We never see Lily sharing with Alyssa how the relationship is going. Because at a closer look, it's not really going all that well. Ryle and Lily, apart from that rooftop almost a year ago, they haven't spent any time, just the two of them, talking, getting to know each other. But because Alyssa is almost giving now an okay to Lily, right? She now sees that Ryle is putting in the effort. It could result in Lily feeling that, yeah, you see, he is really, doing better and he's committed to this. Even his sister, who was doubting, sees it. Ryle and Lily go to Lily's place. They meet her roommate and Ryle introduces himself as no other but Lily's boyfriend. Ta-da! It has happened. He decided for this to be a relationship. And I'm reading this and I'm wondering, where was Lily in this? Did they talk about it? Does she want this commitment? I mean, come on, we all know that she wants it and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just trying to make a point. It's not just for him to decide what they are. It's the two of them. But it's clear that he also took this trial run as nothing else but him being ready to be in a relationship. Not for Lily also to decide if she wants to continue with him based on what he does. Lily is obviously happy. She feels some type of way. Boyfriend? And this, ladies and gentlemen, does happen when you're dating for acceptance rather than you yourself understanding if this guy is okay for you and how do you function in a relationship. It shows us again how he is controlling the relationship, how he is controlling the narrative based on how he feels about it. And all of this leads into ending the night again with passionate love that lasts for a couple of pages in the book. Magic. Lily is finishing up her work at the floral shop and Ryle asks her if he can stop by. She tells him that she has around an hour left, but yeah, sure, come. And half an hour later, Ryle is there. Shocker. You know what is tricky? When someone shows they ask you, but then they still do their own way. What happens is that even if you start to think about, man, are they really respecting my time, or are they always just imposing their own things? Or even if a friend tells you, look, it looks like it's all about him, you would say, no, he asked me if he can come, and I said yes, neglecting the part that you also gave a time frame, and yet he did not respect that time frame. Him asking gives the appearance that he is respecting Lily's time and her boundaries, and that makes her feel like special and valued, but at the end of the day, he really doesn't, or he half-asses it. Now, I get it. I can be too picky, too detailed, but I would rather see if you see something like that happening in your own life, or you're doing it, just have a conversation with the person. Like, don't neglect it, and just say, look, I really appreciate that you ask me, but then it almost kind of feels that then you do it on your own. And then you can have a normal conversation about it. The person might be, oh, I know, but I was so excited to come. Or, okay, I understand. I'm going to make sure that I respect your time, or whatever. Nevertheless, Ryle comes and Lily is not finished yet, but he's just going to wait on the couch. He's going to take a nap until she is done. So Lily is doing her thing, and about 20 minutes later, she is finished. She looks up, or she looks towards Ryle, and the man wasn't even sleeping. No, he's holding his head like this on his arms, and he's just looking at Lily. He's a creep. I get how you can see it as romantic, but on the other hand, it's a bit disturbing. It is disturbing that someone just stares at you like that for 15 minutes. Based what? Lily, I think I like you too much. Boy, based on what? This is my first relationship, and I don't know if I'm supposed to like you this much. I'm afraid I'm gonna scare you away. Yeah, like that could happen. He's working so much that there's no way he could smother her. I think Lily is being a little bit passive-aggressive. Does it bother you that I work this much? She tells him that she's not bothered, but sometimes she does worry if he is working himself too much. But apart from that, she likes that he shares his passion with her. It might actually be the best thing she likes about him, that he is so ambitious. Probably also the one wink, wink. We talked about it a little bit before when it comes to Lily's view, or wealthy people, rich people, and so on. But when it comes to status, there is another aspect that Lily might have learned from a young age. She might tend to seek partners who are valuable or impressive on the outside, yet tend to be neglecting and controlling behind closed doors. And she might not even recognize it. She doesn't know that that's actually what she's doing when she is with Ryle. And interestingly enough, it could also show in Atlas. You see, Atlas left her because he wanted to make a better life for himself, right? He was homeless, and okay, we don't even need to discuss what he needed to do. But that could again reinforce this belief that ambition and goals and so on are a valuable enough thing to sacrifice for. It's something good, admirable, even though it comes at a cost of, for example, a relationship. If we try to go even deeper, because Atlas never came back for her, it could be that with Ryle, she's almost trying to fulfill this narrative. This narrative of the sacrifice for ambition is justifiable. So her being with someone like Ryle makes her feel like now she is good enough. Now she is getting that confirmation she was missing from Atlas. Ryle also has a favorite thing about Lily, and this time it's not her lips. His favorite thing is how she doesn't put any pressure on him to be something he is incapable of being. She accepts him exactly as he is. He continues to again tell her how everything is so easy with her. Not only can he still focus on his career, but it's actually 10 times better the way she supports him. When I'm with you, I feel like I can have my cake and eat it too. Did you hear that? Huh? Mary, did you hear that? If nothing else, Ryle is upfront. He tells you that he is, in fact, the type of person who likes to have his cake and eat it too. The type of guy who loves to be in this relationship because it can be all about him. Not giving anything back, of course. Oh, sorry. His presence. This time, Lily actually gets to know Ryle a little bit better. You see, he has a call from his mom. He doesn't answer, but it does open a discussion regarding, parents and so on. Ryle shares that he actually has a good relationship with his parents. There was a patch that they had back in the day, but right now he talks to his mom almost every day. Mary, is that a green flag? Ryle treats his mom good, talking with her almost every day? Did your panties get wet? Well, they're gonna suck up dry in a second. You see, Ryle actually thinks that his mom is overbearing. She is the most judgmental person you can meet, especially with people she loves the most. Very religious also, and she never called his dad anything but Dr. Kincaid. His dad, on the other hand, is a psychiatrist. He chose a profession that can help him have a normal life. Smart man. Now, I'm not sure if this was supposed to be sarcastic, being a psychiatrist and having a normal life, because psychiatry is quite a demanding work. But either way, it does show that he has this view of his mom as someone who is bad in some way, right? And how she was always kind of submissive to his dad, while his dad is like a doctor, a status type of guy. On the other hand, when it comes to talking about how his mom is judgmental, that could actually result in Ryle being very sensitive to judgment. And that could also be the reason why he gets very upset when there is any critique about him. And also why he loves that Lily doesn't put any pressure on him. It could also show that Ryle deep down has actually a fear of judgment. So that's why he likes to have control. He likes to have control over relationship, over people, over the image and how people see him. How good someone actually gets to know him, because then he is exposed to judgment, which I guess he was exposed from an early age. Lily also finds out that Ryle actually told his mom about Lily. Ryle explains that, it is kind of a monumental moment, right? His mom keeps on asking him, when is he gonna meet someone? When is he gonna have a girlfriend? So it's a big deal. She calls him every time to ask if everything is okay and when will he fuck up. Lily is a bit suspicious, but Ryle can prove it. He is 100% convinced that the voice message his mom left includes something about Lily. Quote, "Hey, sweetheart, it's your mom. Haven't spoken to you since yesterday. Miss you. Give Lily a hug for me. You do still see her, right? Alyssa says you can't stop talking about her. She is still your girlfriend, right?" Lily is surprised and she wonders, how much are you talking about me? You only know me for a couple of months. Too much, Lily, too much. Because Lily is feeling more comfortable in getting to know Ryle a little bit more, talking about his parents and so on, she asks him what was his brother's name, the one who passed away. Lily realizes that she effed up. It seems like she is pushing a little bit too far because Ryle changes a little bit his attitude. But he does say, Emerson. She kisses him and in no time he is inside her again. But this time, Lily reflects, it was different. This time, they made love. It's been 3 months since Ryle and Lily are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. And Lily is a little bit shook it. Again, this girl is shook it all the time. Well, being with him, I would be shook it also. She's not shook it enough though. Ryle is calling her. So far, they've only been texting. So she's kind of like, oh my God, it's a call. Biz. What do you mean? What do you mean? 3 months into the relationship and this is your first call? Wow. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, boyfriend. Ryle is informing Lily that he is taking a day off tomorrow. And he knows that on Sunday, she doesn't open her floral shop until 1 o'clock. So is she up for a little late night with some good wine and dinner? Aw, so spontaneous and romantic, and yet so controlling and problematic. Lily is excited though, and she is offering to cook dinner. She's gonna wear an apron. Just an apron. Ryle and Lily are celebrating. He is becoming an uncle. He has a smoking hot girlfriend, and on Monday, he has a surgery of a lifetime. And Ryle is betting on his, quote, $500,000 worth of education right hand. He has a lot of faith in this hand. Confidence Ryle has is something. And honestly, I don't know if I would want my doctor to have that kind of confidence or if I would prefer for them to be a little bit more doubtful so they really pay attention. How do you feel, Mary? And right now, he is using his hand to turn Lily around, bend her over the counter, and tease her and walk away. Yeah, that's what Ryle does. Obviously, everything is written in a very, very romantic way, but please. Lily yells after him, "You asshole!" What a tease. There is no area in which Ryle doesn't assert some level of control, is there? What would you say? But as they are talking, they can smell the casserole burning in the oven. At this point, they're also a little bit tipsy from the vintage wine Ryle brought. Ryle rushes to the oven. He opens it, and with his bare hands, he grabs the pot where the casserole is baking. Obviously, he drops it because, newsflash, use pot grabber or whatever, but let's blame it on the alcohol. He drops the casserole and it shatters everywhere. Now Lily doesn't react the best. You see, Lily starts laughing. The only thing she is focused now is on the freaking mess and what the hell just happened. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to confess. Okay? It's not gonna come easy. I am ashamed sometimes. But I'm the type of person, if you fall in a funny way, I'm probably going to laugh. I'm going to help you. I'm going to feel bad, but probably I will also laugh. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's the cartoon's fault. They trained us that if someone falls, it's funny, or it is sometimes really, really funny. Okay? I know it's not good, but sometimes I can't help it. I chuckle. So I would say that Lily might be experiencing the same right now. The problem is Ryle burned himself. He goes to the sink and he puts his hand under the running water. Lily is trying to again hold her laughter, but she's not really successful. And she goes to help him, right? To check what's with his hand. And the next second, she is not laughing anymore. She's on the floor and she's holding the corner of her eye. Ryle's hand came out of nowhere and he basically knocked her over and she hit the handles of the cabinet's door. Lily is feeling shattered. Her whole body is feeling shattered. She tries to wrap her arms around her head and wishes that the last 10 seconds wouldn't happen. God damn it, Lily, it's not funny. This hand is my fucking career. She's still in shock, but Ryle comes to her and he puts his hand on her back. Oh, Lily, he tries to pull her arms from her head, but Lily can't believe it. She's just shaking her head. 15 seconds. It only took 15 seconds for a person to completely change. Ryle pulls her against him and he starts kissing her. "I'm sorry, Lily. I'm so sorry. I burned my hand and I panicked. Everything happened so fast. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm so sorry, Lily." But Lily doesn't hear Ryle anymore. All she hears is her father. "I'm sorry, Jenny. I'm sorry. It was an accident." She wants him away, so she takes all of her strength and she pushes Ryle back. Ryle falls on his hands and there is genuine sorrow in his eyes. But the next second, there is worry, panic. He looks at his hand and there is blood. He cut his hand on the broken glass. He stands up and he quickly puts it under the water. Lily is full of anger, but somehow she's worried. She is worried about his hand. She takes a towel and she shoves it into his hand to help with the bleeding. Oh no, it's his right hand. The surgery on Monday. She tries to help him, but she's shaking too much. Ryle turns to Lily and he pulls her chin up. Fuck the hand, Lily. I don't care about that. Are you okay? He's looking at the cut on Lily's head. Lily begins to shake and tears are pouring down her cheeks. No, Ryle, you pushed me. Ryle wraps his arms around Lily and he is begging her. Please, Lily, please don't hate me. His voice starts to sound like his again. And Lily feels it in her whole body. His whole career depends on that hand. So it must mean something that he doesn't even care about it now. Right? She's so confused. Too much is happening. She pulls back and she never saw Ryle this sad. His eyes are red and he keeps apologizing. I panicked. I didn't mean to push you away. All I could think was the surgery and Monday and my hand and I'm so sorry. He presses his mouth to Lily's and Lily is thinking he's nothing like my dad. He can't be like that uncaring bastard. They're both upset and they're kissing each other and Lily never felt this way. So painful and so ugly, and yet the only person who can ease the hurt she's feeling right now is the man who caused it. Seeing him so remorseful makes her tears dry, and the way he's kissing her and grabbing her like he never wants to let her go. Also, her emotion starts to calm down. He picks her up, and the whole time Lily is thinking, am I more disappointed by him or by myself? Him for losing his temper in the first place? Or me by finding comfort in his apology? He takes her to the bedroom and the whole time he's kissing her, Lily's confused. She doesn't understand what's happening to her. She is so angry and at the same time her body is yearning for Ryle. She wishes she would lash at him, that she would do what she wanted her mom to do. But deep down, she really wants to believe that this was an accident. Ryle is nothing like her dad. She needs to feel him. She needs to feel his regret. And she gets that by the way he's kissing her. And they are intimate. It's healing. After, Ryle is on top of her and he is gently brushing her cheeks. She's looking at him and she's reflecting. Ryle pushed me. For 15 seconds, she saw a side of him that wasn't him. That wasn't her. She laughed at him when she shouldn't, when she should have shown concern. And he shoved her when he should have never touched her. And she pushed him away and he cut his hand. This whole thing was bad and she never wants to think about it again. She gets up and she goes to the bathroom where she picks up first aid. It's to help with Ryle's hand. She looks in the mirror and she's thinking, no more wine. They are never allowed to drink vintage wine again. She walks out of the bathroom and she sees Ryle coming from the kitchen. Ice for your eye. She shows him the first aid and they both smile. They sit back on the bed and while she is tending to his hand, he apologizes again. He feels terrible and if he could take it all back. I know, Ryle. You pushed me and it made me question everything I knew about you. But I know you feel bad about it and we can't take it back. But I don't want to talk about it ever again. But Ryle, she looks him straight into his eyes. If anything like this ever happens again, I will know that also this time wasn't just an accident. And I'm gonna leave you without a second thought. He stares at her for a minute and he promises it will never happen again. Lily, I'm not like him. I'm not your father. I know that that's what you're thinking, but I swear to you. Lily can't take the pain she feels in Ryle's voice and she reassures him. She knows he's nothing like her dad. But please don't make me ever doubt you again. You're the most important part of my life, Lily. I want to bring you happiness. and not cause you hurt. Lily goes to take a shower, and in that time, Ryle cleans up the kitchen. After they lay together in bed, and Lily can see it. She can see it in his eyes. He deserves at least one chance at forgiveness. If she doesn't find a way to forgive him, she's just gonna place the blame she has for her father on him. And that's not fair. He's nothing like her dad. He loves her. He never said it, but she knows. She knows he loves her. And she loves him. What happened, happened. And she knows it will never happen again. Not after him being this upset about it. And everyone makes mistakes. It's not about the mistakes we make, but what we take from them. Ryle takes Lily's hand and he says, "Lily, I'm in love with you." And she whispers, "I love you too." Whew. So this was tough. And I have to admit that when I was reading it for the second time, preparing for this video, it felt even more real. Like the description of how everything went down was quite painful. I do want to also add that in the movie, this was not shown. In the movie, every time Ryle hurt Lily, it showed as though she was not aware of it, right? As how she's dismissing it. And I think it gave a lot of disservice to Lily's character, because we can clearly see that Lily is aware that this was wrong. But when the psychological part comes in and how everything gets so twisted is, despite knowing, how you still find a way to kind of justify it and find a way to let it go and focus on the love that you share with the other person. And I want to go deeper into this. So I try to understand better the reactions and the behaviors that kind of happened. But let me know in the comments below if there is anything that you feel played a role, and if you have experience, I'm so sorry if you have experience, or if you're just knowledgeable about these things, let us know in the comments below. It is very, very important that we learn about this, because DV is not so uncommon as we might think it is. I also want to emphasize that this is my opinion, okay? I do not have any education or degree in understanding what is actually happening. So this is all based on just how I'm trying to understand what's happening and what I found researching this. So please take that in consideration and educate yourself further on the topic. So the first thing that happens right after the incident, and when Ryle tries to kind of apologize to Lily, is that she is hearing her father instead of Ryle, which tells us that basically there was a trauma triggered. Her past experience, how her mother was hurt by her dad and how he kept apologizing. And also pushing Ryle away, it's like her survival instinct kicks in, because on some level she is recognizing some patterns of abuse. So she's trying to protect herself. Now, when he gets hurt, cuts his hands, and Lily sees that, it triggers her genuine care she has for him, affection. She is worried about him being hurt. That doesn't just vanish because he hurt her. So she can't just ignore the fact that he is now in pain, because she does have this care for him. Now, we know that Lily is, while everything is happening, struggling between this compassion that she feels towards him, but also anger. And somehow that results into her basically forgiving Ryle for what happened. Now, first thing, this could again be a pattern that she saw as a kid, despite resenting her mother to not, let's say, stand up for herself. She still learned that at the end of the day, you need to be compassionate and you forgive and you understand. On the other hand, there is a little bit of, not a little bit, there is a psychological impact that is probably happening here. Lily at this point has two beliefs. One belief is that violence is unacceptable. And the other belief is that Ryle cares for her. So when he pushed her, these two beliefs clashed, right? On one hand, she knows that violence is bad, but it's coming from the person who is supposed to care for her. Suddenly, the man who she saw as a source of safety, of love, became a source of harm. So this creates a lot of stress, a lot of confusion, a lot of emotions of how to even accept what just happened. Now, one of the ways that she can fight this hurt, this confusion, is if she lets go of one belief. And there are two things that support Lily letting go of the, let's say, the wrong belief. So the first thing is that Ryle is very remorseful. He is trying to get forgiveness. He's trying to comfort Lily, like he's being affectionate to her. And that plays into that he is not bad as her father, right? Because he is so remorseful. The other thing is that she always swore she will never do the same mistakes as her mom. She will never be with someone who hurts her the way her father hurt her mom. Now, the only thing that can make that possible, the only way she won't be like that because she wants to forgive Ryle, is if she decides that this wasn't real violence and it was just an accident. This helps her to bridge this gap. If she sees that Ryle is actually remorseful, and if she wants this to be not the same thing as her dad, then she needs to accept that this was accident. And this makes her even more receptive to apologies. So first thing she does is to minimize what just happened and why it happened. It's alcohol, it's stress. And that actually helps her preserve this idea of Ryle being fundamentally good and loving her. The second thing is that she starts to blame herself. She shouldn't have left. And this is also a way to help her take away the focus from Ryle. Because you see, her mind is now trying to preserve the other belief that Ryle is fundamentally good and he loves her and he cares for her. So she's doing everything to take away the attention from him. It can also play into her having a sense of control of the situation. If it's her fault, then she can prevent it in the future. If she acts right, this won't happen. And then, as mentioned, because Ryle is so remorseful, it also helps her see it as out of the character type of thing, right? He's actually good. He would never do this. Look how sorry he is. So what happened was something totally unexpected. Now, why could that even happen is probably because of the trust she has in Ryle. You see, Lily already created a certain image and decided, or she developed, based on I really don't know what, but basically certain trust in Ryle. And once you have trust in someone, it is very difficult to let it go. It's very difficult to lose it. So that's why it's almost like not easy, but easier to trust that this is not who he is. Another quite interesting thing, I think, is that we do know that Lily has a bit of a savior complex. She needs to feel needed to then be proven loved. If she accepts that Ryle is actually abusive and she should walk away, she also loses the chance to be proven that she is worthy. So if she decides that this was an accident and they continue the first plan, let's say, of him changing for her, then she can also get that reassurance that she is worthy of change and lovable. Now, when it comes to this dynamic between Ryle causing her hurt and at the same time him being the one who can ease that hurt, I honestly have a bit of difficulties understanding this one. The only thing that kind of came across is the potential anxious attachment style, where you, because of a conflict, become desperate to get the connection. But I'm not going to go too deep into it because honestly, I I'm not sure I understand it correctly, but let me know, or let us all know in the comments below if you have a bit of a better of an understanding what is happening in that dynamic. Now, let's talk about Ryle. So when it comes to Ryle, the first thing that honestly I was a bit surprised how it showed, how everything went down, is how quickly the apology followed. Because from my previous understanding, which is very minimal, I always understood that the apology happens a little bit later, maybe even the next day. But here it happened fairly quickly. And I don't know if that's like the reality of what can happen in real life, or that's just, how the author presented it. On one hand, it could be that this is also what happens in real life when someone does something without control, right? Because it seems like, or it's presented as though Ryle is as shocked at this as Lily is. The author might be trying to emphasize even more how this is not an intentional thing, but it's a result of certain emotions. It becomes very, very risky though. It can result in people thinking, and that's often how victims deal with it, that it is an impulse and not a choice. If you think about it, despite some abusers reacting out of emotion in that moment, it is still a choice they make to hurt the other person, but also a choice that they do not seek help. So that's just something that I wanted to kind of talk about here, that it can be very dangerous to think that just because it's emotionally driven or something triggered them, that then makes it okay. On the other note, we are also aware of the high and lows that are happening, emotional high and lows, and how that actually ties into this cycle of abuse. So someone being abusive towards you and then immediately being sorry and trying to be affectionate creates this emotional confusion that keeps you stuck even more, and you can't really see clearly. So whatever it is not okay to dismiss it and try to justify it. The best thing is to find a way how to separate yourself from that person. Now, in general, when we look at how Ryle behaves, which is asking for forgiveness, being affectionate to her, these are all, from my understanding, parts of cycle of abuse and very common actions in the reconciliation phase. So when you are trying to reestablish that closeness with the other person to minimize what you actually did. When it comes to being intimate at the end, this is also a very, I don't know if it's common, but basically quite dangerous part of abuse, where you start to connect intimacy after the hurt as a band-aid almost, right? Because we have now been intimate and connected in that way, it almost allows you not to address the deeper issues. And in this case, it also shows how Lily is dependent emotionally on Ryle, and she's soothing that dependency by being intimate with him. The final act after the incident, her going to grab first aid kit and then Ryle basically doing the same, it just shows the need to go back to normalcy, especially for Lily, because now she has again this chance of going back into the caregiver role, which taps again into this belief that now she can receive love again. The fact that she warned him at the end that this is the last time, it is very good that she's setting a boundary, but on the other hand, there is a risk because everything happened so quickly. And she set the boundary after the reconciliation, let's say, which if you decide, or if you're still in the phase where you don't know if it was an accident or if something really happened, it would be much more beneficial, again, if that's the only thing that you can do, or the least that you can do, to at least let some time pass before you allow to reconnect again. So then you really set in some way a clear boundary. I honestly don't know if it helps, honestly, but going so quickly to the reconciliation and then setting the boundary, I don't know how much does it actually affect how will Ryle treat her in the future. One thing that is a bit concerning is also how Ryle uses the information about Lily's dad to basically position himself as better than her dad, of already saying, I'm not like him. It almost, in a way, normalizes his abuse because he's not like her father. It means that what he did is not like what her father did, which is not really true. But let's now also address the I love you versus the I'm in love with you. I don't want to get too nitty-gritty, okay? It was also quite emotional narrative so far, so I need to take a break. But to me personally, that again shows the commitment level and the emotional state Ryle is in and what Lily is in, and basically how they are not really matching. You see, Ryle, by saying, I'm in love with you, is almost a bit initial stages of a relationship, a very fleeting type love. It almost reinforces this belief that Ryle has a bit more passionate obsession type of love with Lily, while Lily, by saying I love you too, shows on one hand that, there's a bit of a delusion. What kind of love does Ryle have towards her versus what kind of love Lily has towards him? But at the same time, it can also show that Lily's love, let's say, or attitude towards Ryle is a bit more stable, a little bit more grounded, a bit more long-term commitment. But let me know in the comments below, how do you see it? And honestly, I did think that this is going to be like the last video on It Ends With Us, but there's a lot to talk about, like you've seen it. So I'm going to continue in the part 3. And as always, remember, trust your individuality.